Welcome to Life of the Party. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm Amy Chamberlain. I'm the chef and owner of the Perfect Wife Restaurant and Tavern. And every episode I have a special guest, and tonight my guest is very special. It's my dad. He's here visiting from Florida. Why don't you come on up, Dad? Slade Walter.
Hi, everybody. I came all the way from Florida, the land of sunshine and early bird specials.
Well, dinner's
I'm
going to
telling
be
you,
a little late.
I've been living down there for 15 years, and I'm still not used to it. The other day, guys, this is a true story. I'm driving around, and I'm looking at the different cars, and I'm saying, what the hell are all these Florida license plates? And I said, I live here.
We do the same thing in the summer. Same plates, probably. So, I didn't say his name very loudly. So, Slade Walter. This is my dad, Slade Walter. Mm-hmm. He's awesome. Dad's been a very big influence on my cooking most of my life. Well, maybe from high school on.
Yeah.
When we were having fun in the kitchen.
Yeah, did a lot of that.
And Dad's a really good cook, so we've gotten to eat a lot
I have
of
certain
his good meals.
specialties. I'm not really a good cook. I'm good at certain things.
Like blueberry galette.
That,
Yeah. Pumpkin pie.
Manhattan clam chowder, pumpkin pie, and
Braised lamb shanks.
yeah.
That's pretty good. It's a good
Oh, I
repertoire.
forgot to tell you. You know what I bring with me?
Bring?
Spring.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Dad. Awesome.
Yes.
Tomorrow we'll
Beautiful.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
We got tulips. It's looking
yeah,
good.
beautiful tulips.
All right. Spinning around.
Yeah, just checking it out.
So you're in community theater, Dad.
Yeah, I've done some community theater.
So yeah, you're pretty comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about some shows that you've been in, because I've seen a bunch of them and it's really a lot of fun.
Well, I've been in quite a few shows. All of the ones that you know that are famous for Broadway shows, like Oklahoma, Carousel, that kind of stuff. Boy, Guys and Dolls. But the most fun I have is doing these little shows about that are, well, for example, I did one show called Doo-Wop Days, and so we did all the music from the doo-wop era. So I got to sing like I was Elvis, I was Jerry Lee Lewis, I was several.
Yeah. And you did like a 70s one, right?
Then we did a show called Pharmaceuticals, which was a show about the pharmacy business and a spoof of it. And so that was probably my favorite one that I've done.
It's the most true to character?
Yeah,
or?
well, everybody in Florida loved it. As you might expect.
You're so
So
funny.
yeah, it looks on everything. Yeah. So anyway, I see some familiar faces out here. I see Dan. I see my grandson Duncan. You know, he's a smart kid.
It's pretty smart.
Duncan, come up here. I want to show you how smart you are. Come on, up. Come on, Duncan.
He dressed up for us.
Yeah, he's on. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to give me the answer.
Come over
Stand
here. Come here.
Can you see
gotta
him?
sit here. There you go. All right.
Okay. Tell me, Duncan, how do you pronounce the name of the 50th state? Hawaii or Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See? Smart kid.
That's what I grew up with. Funny jokes. Got any more, Dad?
No, not at the moment.
All right. Well, aside from being in theater, you're a wicked orchid.
I collect orchids. Florida is orchid fantasy land, basically. And when I collect orchids, I collect them, I grow them, and it's a hobby. And it takes a great deal of my time because I have 250 orchids.
Yeah, and they don't all bloom at the same
I
time.
know,
right?
but if you're going to grow orchids, you got to have a lot of them, so something's always blooming.
And they
they
grow,
hang-
they're on trees,
they're
and
on
like
yeah,
right
yeah.
on the trees in
Yep.
his yard, and
Yep,
some
yep.
are inside, and
Yep.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's fun to go to. And you have 2 growing seasons, right? You have some tomatoes coming now, and when I was there in November, you had tomatoes
Yeah,
that we were
things grow.
eating.
Yeah, things grow all year round. It's warm down there.
Our blueberries are from Florida
They are. In
that
fact.
we're using
I
today.
saw that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna make Dad's, today we're gonna make Dad's very famous and delicious blueberry galette, of which you'll each get a small piece. And we're also making chicken perle, right?
I don't know how you say it. I never could figure it out.
Yeah,
It's got a little
that's what it
umlaut
said on
thing
the
in it.
recipe. But it's pot roasted chicken with
It's
veggies.
pot roasted chicken with veggies and rosemary.
Yeah, we stuffed rosemary in it and a dill sauce.
Dill and
Yeah,
yeah, it's really good.
That's what we're gonna make.
yeah, we'll talk about that later.
All right, well, we'll start with the galette, and we're gonna get started for you so we can eat quicker. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Because you're such a good audience. Guy gets pulled over by a cop. Cop comes up to the window. He says, "Can I help you, officer?" He said, "Did you realize that your wife fell out of the car about a half a mile back?" He said, "Oh, thank God. I thought I was going deaf." I love it.
Oh,
It's a good one. What do you think?
I don't think we need to cook.
Yeah.
Cooking
Okay,
is
well-
just, you know, maybe you can roll
Okay,
pastry and tell
okay,
jokes at
yeah.
the same time.
Well, here we go. Wait a minute. I got it. Where's the? Oh, here. I got everything right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
everything.
First, what we're going to do. This is I've already made. This is a pie dough basically.
And why is it special? Because you love your pie crust recipe. So explain what's in it and how you made it.
Okay. It's flour, like 1 1/4 cups of flour, a little sugar, a little teeny bit of salt, Crisco, and butter.
Both.
Now that came from a recipe from, what's his name?
Christopher Kimball.
Ken Kimball, the
Yeah.
Yellow Farmhouse
Yellow Farmhouse
cookbook
Cookbook
or something, yeah.
or the Dessert Bible. It's in both
So
books.
I've done a lot of baking and made a lot of pie crusts, and this is the best, no question.
It's funny because I have my favorite too. And it's not that one. But Dad's pies are always awesome. He brings pumpkin pie to every Thanksgiving, sometimes apple pie too.
Yeah.
It's like the pie guy.
Right.
Yep.
One time when I was living upstate New York for a while, not Sing Sing, by the way. And Amy, and we went to the cook. Oh, I lost my train of thought.
The strudel?
Ah, the strudel. Oh yeah, we had to go across the street and steal some apples to make it. That's all I remember.
Yeah. So remember that time we went apple picking and made strudel, and he said, "You mean apple stealing?" Oh yeah, we went pumpkin stealing there too.
Yeah.
That
So
was
the
fun.
first thing, yeah, fine.
We don't do that anymore.
No.
We're over that. We've grown up, right, Dad?
Yeah, looks on everything. Okay, here we go. So then you turn it over, a little there, do a little flipperino, you're right there. Like this. Then you do this. Why is everybody so quiet?
I don't know. Could tell another story, I guess. Well,
They didn't go home, did they? Oh, there you are. Thanks.
Dad lived in New York City when I was growing up, so I was
Yeah.
very lucky to have been to many Broadway shows and buy my dress at my prom dress at Lord and Taylor and skate in Rockefeller Center and
Big bucks.
so yeah, Dad was rich. His daddy's office was in the Empire State Building. We thought he was rich and famous and well, he is now. You weren't then. But yeah, we went to see Barnum, which didn't last forever on Broadway, obviously, but we were in the front row, and the guy that was playing Barnum sang right to me.
That
very
was the
exciting.
funniest thing. He really did. Got down on one knee. This was the big song of the show, and looked right at Amy and sang the whole entire song right to her. You were about what, 12 or something?
Yeah, maybe 12 or 13. And when the first Broadway show I ever saw was Annie, and Sarah Jessica Parker was playing Annie. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. She was not famous then she was famous, and now she's not famous again.
I'm going to give you another tip about rolling out dough. Don't drink beer while you're rolling out dough, because sometimes if you spill some beer on the flour, you're a dead duck. So.
How do you know that, Dad?
Experience.
Okay.
My girl.
I
Experience.
thought maybe Grandma taught you that. All right, you want your tray's down there. You want to put it on the tray?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Well, not yet. I have to put the bloobs on it first.
I think you should put the bloobs on it there, don't you? That's what you did today.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this. It's going to go. Okay. Where am I?
Blueberries.
Blueberries. Okay.
Okay.
This, I don't know if you can get this. Sometimes I have some runaway blueberries.
There you go. Run away, run away. This is 2 cups of blueberries. Right, Dad?
Yes, it's 2 cups of blueberries. But that's not,
You can use more.
you can use more or less.
And you can make
Depending.
little individual ones. That's what I do at the restaurant. I make a bunch of dough, and then I weigh out about 3.5 ounces per little galette. And you can make little ones.
Yeah, you can make, yeah.
They're delicious.
I'll tell you why it's better than a pie, because you got more crust, and everybody knows more crust is better. Okay.
I think so now. When I was little, I didn't like crust.
Then we do this. And this.
The first time I ever had Dad's blueberry galette, I was in a diet competition, and I was winning, and I went to Dad's for a couple of days, and he made blueberry galette, and I had a piece, and I lost by 1 pound, and I blame it on the galette.
Yes, well,
So I always
You wanna
feel
know
I'm
something?
being very decadent.
I don't know something. You were right.
I generally am.
There you go. No harm done.
Beautiful. Okay.
So now, sometimes you just learn
I'll just
things
eat
the
that.
hard way.
No, the crust. Thanks. Raw pie.
Okay. Now we put a little sugar in there. Depends on how sweet your blueberries or whatever kind of fruit you're using. You can make galettes out of most any fruit, peach, apples, anything
Yeah.
you can make a pie out of,
Apricot.
anything.
Yeah.
And so you put,
Strawberry rhubarb. That's really good. You got to make sure you cook that first, though. But that's a yummy one.
yeah, that's a good one. And so I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little more, because these blueberries are pretty sweet.
They are, actually. I was surprised for April.
Okay, now what? Now we do this.
You're like a surgeon, and I'm like your nurse.
Yeah.
Little egg wash, and that'll make it so pretty.
Yeah, it makes it nice and pretty and brown and shiny and all.
So after you make the pie crust, Dad makes his pie crust in the food processor. He puts the Crisco and the butter and the flour and the sugar and the salt in there and pulses it, and then puts it in a bowl and adds the cold water until it's the right consistency.
Oh yeah, there's a secret to crusts. When you're mixing them up, it's always better to have them on the sticky, wet side rather than crumbly side.
I agree. I went to King Arthur Flour for a pie class, and they said the same thing.
Yep.
You're smart. So then you put it in a disc and wrap it up and put it in the fridge and let it sit there for at least an hour, right?
That's what we're going to do with this?
No, the disc. When you made the disc, you put it in the fridge at the restaurant for an hour, right?
Yeah, you
And
let
then-
it rest for an hour.
Okay.
Or let it firm up, because you got
Yeah.
butter and Crisco that you want to be in pieces and not melted.
Okay, so we're going to do a little TV magic here. Ready? Let's switch. I'm going to put this in the oven, and this just came out of the oven. Turn around, Dad. Show the camera, Dad. You must show the camera, because otherwise the TV land can't see it. That's Dad's beautiful blueberry galette. Awesome job, Dad. Mwah. So we're going to clean up here, and then we're going to get to the chicken that I left at the restaurant earlier.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank God you're still here.
The Paid their money. They're
Yeah.
not leaving until they eat.
That's right. Don't blame them. This is good. Tell them what we have here.
We have a little chicken here. Little chicken that does a lot of yoga, apparently. So our pot roasted chicken.
Pot roasted chicken, because when you cook it in a pot, it stays moist, and it makes a big difference.
It does. It's very moist. And then we are going to crisp it on the top. So what we start with is a chopped up mirepoix in the pot. So we have carrots, celery, onions, and parsnips in there, and some bay leaves. And you can also put potatoes in there if you'd like. And that's generally what I do, but because I was making so many today, I opted to do the potatoes on the side. But I mixed them with the vegetables after they were cooked. So we're going to start with the chicken. We're going to, maybe move that bottle, Dad, so the camera can see. Just trim the fat a little bit. This is a pretty good knife. And I like to put the wings behind here because it's nice and tidy. Exactly. And we're going to stuff the cavity with some rosemary that we just picked at my house from the windowsill, and parsley, and half a lemon. Give it a little squeeze, throw it in there. This is a low sodium recipe. Is it from AARP or something, Dad? Well, there's no salt and pepper in the recipe.
I beg your pardon. Well, I don't know him, actually.
Well, I forgot to put the salt and pepper out, so we're going with it. There's salt and pepper on the chicken you'll eat, I promise. And then we tie this up, make a little bow, so then we can easily take it off when it's time to serve it. And then we brush it with some melted butter. And then this butter is not, it's a little coagulated, but I think it makes it easier.
Yeah, it's good.
Better. More butter is more better.
Right. That's what Julia Childs said.
More butter is more better. Plop it in the pot. Okay, then we're going to plop it in the pot. We don't need to put anything else in there except maybe a little salt and pepper if you happen to have pulled it out ahead of time.
How about this? This doesn't go yet?
No, that doesn't go yet. Oh. Then cover it up. Not yet, Dad. We're going to cover it up and put it in a 350-degree oven. And we want it to come to a temperature of about 140 degrees. If you have ever measured the temperature of a chicken, you want to take an instant read thermometer and stick it in the fattest part of the thigh, but not against a bone. And I like to take 2 different temperatures because sometimes you might, not get it right in there. So the fattest part of the breast too is often like in here, a good place to check as well. So this chicken is 3 pounds about, and it'll probably feed 3 people maybe. And this chicken will get to 140 in about 35 minutes, I'd say, if the oven is nicely preheated. And then you're going to, let's pretend that's the oven. Take the lid off of the chicken and put it back in the oven for another good 20 minutes. You want to get it nice and brown. At this point, I always make sure it's on the top shelf of the oven, as close to the top, because that's where most of the heat is in your oven if you want to brown it. So this got a little bit pale because it's been sitting, but you can see it's nicely browned. If you're doing this at home, you're going to serve it right away, and this will be crispy and golden and delicious. We have one small oven here, so we're fighting for space, obviously.
All right, so
okay, so I'm going to flip this over so that I'm not cutting cooked chicken where I cooked raw chicken. Don't want to do that. We love all of you. I love my dad. Don't want to hurt anybody. And I'm going to get a different knife. Okay, this will work. Okay, so, Dad, can you grab a plate down there for me, please? Thank you. So we put the chicken there and let it rest. Then we pull out the veggies and put the veggies into a pot with a slotted spoon, because we want all that is just stock from the chicken cooking in the pot with the vegetables. The vegetables are tender and delicious, and they've got the flavor of the rosemary and the lemon and the parsley and the butter and the salt and pepper. It's all in there. And we're going to make a sauce with this stock. Whoops. Seriously? Boop, 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 boop. We'll go to this burner here. Okay. We're going to put that on high heat. We're going to stir it up a little bit. Bring it to a boil. And we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of Madeira.
No.
That means you only get that bottle minus 3/4 of a cup.
I think I better check this to see if it's really Madeira.
We made chicken marsala once. When Duncan was first born, we had the whole family over. Dad drank the whole bottle of marsala.
Stop that.
You did! He had a really bad headache the next day, I remember.
Here.
Okay, so, I don't know if you can see. Is it delicious?
It's good.
Yeah, it's only $6 a bottle. That's a good thing to like. So here we got a nice boil here. We're gonna add this Madeira. That was about 3/4 of a cup, maybe a little less. And you want that to, whoops. That's always good.
Fire.
Hey, Julia.
Oh, it's so hot in here. Okay, so we're boiling away there. Then we're going to add, we're going to reduce that, let it boil and reduce a little bit. And while that's happening, I'm going to make a little slurry. The cornstarch, this is Dad's recipe. That's the recipe that you use
That's a recipe that I use and that I made at home.
and loved it.
Yeah, turned out pretty
So.
good. But I think this is going to be better.
Really? Well, we put rosemary in this time. Fresh rosemary, so I'm making a slurry. Ugh. Okay.
Do you want me to stir that?
Yeah, you can stir while I pour, but you got to make sure the camera can watch you, Dad. See? There you go. Left hand stir. Ready? Here it comes.
Down
Stir.
stage hand.
Stir, 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 stir. Okay, ready? A little more. Okay. Good, good, good.
Okay. Okay.
There. Okay, see that? How thick that is? Saucy. So the cornstarch, as soon as it boils, that's as thick as it's going to get. So if you're making something and you're thickening it with a slurry, if it's not as thick as you want and the sauce is boiling, unless you reduce it for a long time on the stove, you want to add a little more slurry. So slurry's good. It's not hard to make a mistake with a slurry because if you add a little bit at a time and make sure it's boiling, you're pretty good. You're in good hands. This also has some fresh chopped dill and a little bit of vinegar,
Just a minute.
red wine vinegar.
Gives it a little punch.
I think it needs a little more vinegar,
More punch.
more punch. Right, Dad. So
It's looking good.
it is. So there it is. Fresh dill.
Yeah.
Yummy, little few chunks of veggies that were stuck to the bottom of the pot. Really good stuff. So then, you
You're
take,
gonna untie this chicken.
yep, untie his shoes. That's what I feel like I'm doing.
Help.
And we're going to cut them up.
Oh no, you need that.
I do. That's good. Okay, I like to pull the legs off. It's perfectly cooked.
Yes, it's good.
And
You can see how moist
Juicy.
and tender.
Look at all the
Juicy.
juice.
All the juice all over.
should have seen us today. It was all over our apron.
This is going.
Oh yeah, let's turn that off.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So it's good to cut it up into smaller pieces because some people might be hungry and some people might not be. To cut the breast in half, I just go right down the center like that. Pull this yumminess out of there. You can smell it. My goodness. And that'll be right in the chicken when you eat it. Just pull that breast off. There's a breast. And you go in here along the
On
backbone.
the other side of the backbone we're going.
Yes.
And take the backbone out and save it for stock.
Yes. Or
Take
there's the oyster.
Take the oyster and eat it.
You want the other one?
Yeah.
You guys know about the oyster, right? The chicken and the turkey. That's the best part.
Whoa.
At Thanksgiving, you should always be right there when the turkey's being carved so you can grab the oysters. That's good. All right. So I'm going to leave that there.
Yep.
So a little bit of sauce on your chicken. Do this. Put some veggies in the center. Make it pretty, right?
Little sauce.
Little sauce. There's a ladle. Little sauce all around. I don't know if you all know, if I've ever taught you this on my show. If you're ladling something out of a pot and you touch the bottom of the ladle to the sauce, it will less likely drip all over the place. I learned that from Danielle Reedy in culinary school, pouring soup out at buffet banquet for lunch. Okay, so let's see.
Take a picture of that.
I know. We got a little fresh dill, and we're going to take a picture of it right now. There it is. It's beautiful. We made that, Dad. Great, Dad. That was like fun.
It was.
was
It's
so
a great crowd.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Dinner's
It's
going to
worth
be
the trip.
delicious. Yeah, yes. You can go back now. Only kidding.
Yeah, I love eating dinner at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Tonight you're going to have it at 8. For the chicken, we put the chicken in the pot with the mirepoix. Which
Don't
is,
forget the Madeira.
whether it's for you or don't drink all the Madeira before you make the sauce. Yes, Dad. So you don't put any liquid in the pot with the chicken. The butter, the fat from the chicken, the moisture from the veggies, because there's a lid on it, it's going to make its own moisture. So if you feel, you should have a little bit of, make sure you have some chicken stock available to you, because when you pull the chicken out, if you feel that there isn't enough stock, then you can always add some. And because you're using a slurry, that really, you can thicken up anything. You just add a little cornstarch as you go, and then you'll know, if you have enough sauce. And honestly, we always want more sauce than not enough sauce. So, well, Dad, that was wicked fun. And
man, I had a
if
great
you didn't
time.
have all those jokes, it may have, I don't know.
Well,
Beautiful galette, awesome jokes, handsome. I'm a lucky girl. Thank you so much for coming and being on my show. Thank you, studio audience. Couldn't do it without
yeah, you guys were great.
And thank you out there in TV